Dude, we are so back.
We couldn't be more back.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm so excited I can't even talk because that's how back we are.
It's going to be a tough episode.
Whoo!
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Goots. What's up, dude?
Before you guys go check your listening devices, whatever it is that you're listening on, make sure that it is at one time, not 1.5. Steele is actually talking really fast because he's excited.
I'm super duper excited because I finally get to do this. We're back with Miami, one of the best shows on Bravo. This is one of the best season openers I've seen. So much shit happened. They got right into it. They wasted no time. If you're not watching this show, we've said this for so long. If you're not watching this, goddamn show.
Slow down.
Okay, deep breath. If you're not watching Miami, do yourselves a favor and watch Miami because it's phenomenal.
It is. It's phenomenal. And I love that you say they got right into it. Got into what?
I don't know.
None of it's real.
I don't know, but that's fine. I don't really care.
I love it. The way that they start off this episode had me dying because obviously we've seen the reports, Alexia and Todd, they're on the outs, they're breaking up, he moved out, all this shit. And then a couple of months later, we didn't really know what to make of it. But we're like, oh, wait, was that fake? We saw them walking on the beach holding hands.
Making out.
Now we find out that it's not really fake, but it's probably one of those weird situations that we don't really know
exactly what it is.
Yeah, there's some...
We need a storyline.
No, I think it's a financial thing.
Oh, you think it's because of that?
That's what I said a while ago. I'm going to hold on to that until, other evidence comes back up. But it's so funny. They pick up cameras and then the scene ends and it's 4 months later.
April.
It's like, wait, we sent cameras down to Miami to film this? They got all glammed up just to go over to Larsa's to talk about this?
Yep.
And nothing happened?
No, nothing happened in that moment. They just see like the montage of Todd and Alexia getting married, then the fallout from it, her talking about it. But that's the funniest part is because when we get to Alexia and Marisol at dinner together, all of that's pretty much null and void because now they're back together.
But Marisol doesn't know about it because she was in Japan.
Right. But she had to find out via the press, and she's not happy about that.
Marisol's husband, by the way, number one guy in the group right now.
Oh, easily.
Anthony was. Dr. Nicole's gone.
Yeah, no.
She does come back, I guess, as maybe a scene or two here and there, at least from the trailer. But right now, Steve, I believe his name is.
Steve.
Number one guy in the group.
He has been, though. I don't know, because, I agree that Anthony was, but Steve's always been a front runner because every time we see him, he's mellow. He doesn't really get involved. We like Steve a lot.
It's just this show has the funniest structure. There's only 5, well, I guess 6 when, what's her name, Stephanie? Yeah, Stephanie.
Yeah.
So I guess they will have 6 full-time housewives, but everybody else is just a friend of.
Yep.
Anybody else can pop up in this show and they're a friend of. It's great.
Marisol's a friend of.
I know.
She
She's always
gets more
been, yeah.
camera time than half of the housewives in
I
other
know.
franchises.
Marisol's great, though. I remember the first season we did this. Neither of us really liked Marisol.
You have to get used to her.
But it was, I don't think she's changed a whole lot. I think Alexia's changed a little bit. She's chilled out a little bit.
I think so.
There's some flare-ups here and there, but I remember originally not liking either of them. I'm really getting aggravated when they would talk shit on other people and kind of push people out. Mm-hmm. Now I just like them. Now I think Marisol's one of the most enjoyable people on the show.
I do too, but you have to get through. That's what I was saying. We got used to how she is.
You got to cut through the cockies.
Yeah, you could get through the cockies. You get to know who she is a little bit. But like I said, Alexia and Marisol are talking through everything, and they're about to have dinner with Lisa, so they want to get all the shit talking out before she arrives. And as we know, and that was the best part about this season because it took so long for it to come out, we know everything that happened in the meantime.
Yeah.
Because it was so prominent in the press. Obviously, Lenny and his fiance broke off their engagement. Who would have seen that coming? I was floored by that news.
Do you think he did it because he creased his shoes during the engagement and he just never really forgave her?
Yeah, probably. Because he had to stand on his tippy toes to get the same height. And then he creased his cool shoes, his cool guy shoes.
God, they're so sick.
Those fucking shoes, man. I forgot about the shoes. I made a reel about that.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
You were down the shore.
I know. I was trying to enjoy my morning.
Beautiful day, nice morning, got a good cup of coffee. About to go to the beach with your daughter, probably.
Yep.
Couldn't expect a better day.
Yeah, and then Lenny.
And then Lenny and his shoes show up.
Lenny and those goddamn shoes.
I woke up that morning like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Oh, God. Seal's already ranting.
Yeah, Steele's pissed off about something.
It is 8:15.
I went to Wawa, got coffee, got home, and was like, oh, fuck this. But anyway, obviously we get a Todd update between these two, and she's explaining her side of everything, I suppose. And she's like, you know, I do love Todd, and we're not finished yet, and I want to see where this whole thing goes. I mean, I don't know. We'll see it shake out during the season. I imagine that if it is not financial, this does seem like some kind of move.
I just can't. Financial concerns, financial conditions come to my mind immediately with this.
Well, there's been
really
rumors.
Trust him. Yeah, and there were rumors. I just can't figure out the angle.
I mean, Todd's not my favorite.
It's
So,
something,
like,
it's definitely not on the up and up. Whatever
no,
this
It
is.
seems sketchy.
Yeah, it definitely seems sketchy. I'm not exactly sure what it is, so I'm just going to stay in the financial sector,
Okay.
and then I'll probably move around freely as I keep going. But I don't think I'm ever going to land on, oh, wow, they were really just going through it.
Because even when she explains what happened, she's like, you know, I got home and all of his shit was gone. He moved out in front of Frankie, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Justice for Frankie. That's bullshit. But the whole thing's weird. He got an apartment a month prior and then moved into that apartment with his kid.
And he was slowly moving out. He was putting toiletries away, and he
That's
took
the
the shampoo
funniest
from the bathroom.
What's that movie where somebody does that? They're slowly moving out of the house. It's like one of the...
Is it that Vince Vaughn, Jennifer Aniston movie?
No, it's, damn. Oh, you would know it too. Fuck.
Jack's and Brittany, but it's just Jack selling all of Brittany's stuff.
It's actually Jack's moving back in slowly. That's what that is. But Lisa arrives, and I actually appreciated the joke.
I thought it was a good joke. Lisa might be back. I might like Lisa this season.
This is a good episode.
And
it's a good episode.
you know what? Recency bias for sure. I do remember last year she was so annoying.
Yeah, she was insufferable.
She was with Jody, but constantly talking about Lenny. The season before that was when Lenny broke up with her, so we gave her a full pass on that. But last season was atrocious from her.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, starting off the season with this good deadpan joke, you might have won me over, Lisa.
Here's the thing.
Plus, she's going after Larsa, which, fine.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
I'm always going to be team whoever's going against Larsa. I agree. It was a great first episode. Am I going to dive in like you are? Probably not. I need a little bit more evidence.
Help it.
But you,
I just can't
this
help
is
it.
what you do every time a
do
new
it.
season starts. Somebody has a
And then
solid
it
show, and you're
takes
like,
forever for me to like finally pull back. And then I realized I should have done it like 3 episodes before that.
you have to look in the mirror and go, "Wow, I rode this train for too long."
I don't have any mirrors in my house. Took
Yeah,
them
you
all
go.
out.
Yeah, that's
I
actually
don't like
a
to
metaphor.
see my perception bent.
I follow.
You know, they say that you don't really look like you look in the mirror.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. I have no point of reference anymore. Took all the mirrors
I
out.
have a point of well, Jesus Christ. The point, like, if I'm looking in a mirror and I see your face in a mirror, you still look like you. So would that not be the same?
No, it's how you view yourself only.
But I don't know. I think that's
That's why
bullshit.
pictures look a little different.
I agree that there's times that I'm like, oh, I didn't know I looked like.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's not.
Maybe
what I'm
that's what,
talking
maybe Lisa Barlow's onto something with all the face tuning that she's been doing.
You know?
It's like, this is how I actually look like, guys. This is what I see in the mirror.
I see. Meredith Marks jumped on that train too. That picture she posted like 2 months ago
Oh God, yeah.
looked like her daughter. I was like, who the fuck is? I was like, oh my
Lisa
god,
just
that's
did it
Meredith.
because Jack came back from Colombia. Is that where he was?
I believe so. Yeah.
He came back from Colombia and she posted all these pictures. Everybody else just looks the same, and then you look at Lisa. You're like, Lisa, come on, put
No.
the airbrush away.
Don't change.
No, don't change.
Don't change. Never change. But like I said, good joke, solid start. She's got to work on her metaphors a little bit. Or I don't even know if this is a metaphor, just comparisons, perhaps.
Probably.
She's like, I'd rather post like a super, super ugly nude than get back with Lenny. I was like,
I think that's Housewives in a nutshell.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep.
I'd rather post an unflattering pic of myself than get back with Lenny.
my husband.
And you're like, well, that's not that big of a deal. And she noticed that.
you ask
She's like,
the
but to
housewives.
me, that's a big deal.
Okay, fair enough. But they start talking about all the Todd shit. And Alexia, her defense of him is like, he realized he fucked up. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean he can't do it again. The fact that she's so quick to jump back into it is alarming.
2 to 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
He realized that he couldn't live without me.
Oops.
Okay. Wait. So how long did it take him to slowly move out of this house? He got an apartment a month before that. He was looking for probably a month before that. So it took him 2 months to move out fully, but only 2 to 3 weeks to realize that he made a mistake. Yeah. Them numbies ain't numbered.
Numbies don't number, dude. I agree. There's something going on here. It doesn't smell right. I love Marisol's quote, though. What's right for the whole ain't right for the soul. Words to live by.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's like some Nostradamus shit.
Yeah, dude. Put that in a... Like, Marisol should just have a book of poems.
I would love if Marisol just had a book of, like, Marisolisms.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
A little cocktail book, a cocky book. And it's just
Patonisms.
those... Patonisms?
That's her last name, yeah. Patton.
Oh, I get it. Patonisms. Yeah, there's something there.
Work in General Patton in some way. I can't do it.
Jesus, we're going off the rails today. But there's some more drama brewing that they discuss, and that's between Larsa and Lisa. And I guess what happened, we get another shout out to Ketch. I don't know if you guys heard that whole thing. When we were
a Bravo sponsor at this point.
What was the restaurant in New York called?
We kept calling it Catch.
Correct, but it wasn't.
No, I don't remember.
What was it called? It started
Karma?
with a C. No, that's a club.
Yeah. Jersey Shore.
I don't know.
Cope.
Cope?
I don't fucking know.
I
got
don't
nothing
know.
for you.
I don't remember. It was something with a C.
Looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what you want from me.
You are the one to pull those things out sometimes. Yeah. I thought you might have it.
You know what the problem is? We called it Catch like 10 times.
So many times.
And then people got mad at us, and then we kept doing it because people were mad at us. So I don't think I ever recovered.
People were genuinely upset that we didn't know what it was. And we still
stop getting mad at us.
Yeah, leave us alone. We're trying our best.
Just a couple of dudes.
Yeah, we're just a couple of bros talking Bravo. But the drama is, I'm not even really sure because I don't know what actually happened at this restaurant. But apparently, Lisa and Jody were leaving a restaurant. They saw Marcus sitting at a table. Jody's tight with Marcus and everybody at the table. Mm-hmm. To my knowledge, the way that Lisa makes it sound is they walked by, said hi, exchanged a few words, and left.
Yeah.
The way Larsa's talking about it is they sat down and talked to them for a little while, and then they left.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably somewhere in the middle.
I guess it was because apparently Jody joined all of them for dinner.
That night, or did he invite him to dinner another night?
Oh, maybe it was a different night. The way that I took it was they all saw each other, and it was all of Jody's bestest friends in the world, according to Lisa, and Marcus.
Right.
And Jody and her walked over and had a few words, and then she went home. Jody went to dinner with them.
Joined the table.
I guess, yeah, he probably joined the table. That would make more sense. And then she went home either way. Either way, it didn't really seem like that big of a deal.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because Jody's his own person.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with like Larsa and Marcus and Lisa.
Yeah. And this is a strike on Marisol and Alexia.
Yeah.
Immediately saying, well, you have to control him. What? What do you mean?
That's what Larsa said.
Larsa says the same thing. It's like, what?
You can't control your man. It's like, what?
What are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not going to pull him away from a table with his friends there because Larsa's fake ex-boyfriend was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
How embarrassing would that be?
Yeah, that would be awful.
Yeah, the whole thing makes no sense.
It seems like Lisa, who, she's been saying, she's been controlled her whole life. Now she finally feels free. Seems like she's taking a step in the right direction by not doing that.
Right?
Because I feel like Lisa last year or the year before probably would have overreacted and done something like that. But when I hear that this is how she handled the situation, she walked away because that's her friend's ex.
Mm-hmm.
Jody stayed there because that's all of his friends. That's a step in the right direction for me when I look at Lisa.
And Jody doesn't
mature behavior.
I agree, and it's nice to see that. I thought she handled herself differently the whole episode than we've seen in the last two seasons.
She was she was much better.
But this is not Jody's issue.
No.
This has nothing to do with Jody. Especially because of the fake breakup part of it, absolutely. Yeah. But
do you think the AC was just really good in that restaurant? He couldn't leave.
It was all about the pasta in that restaurant.
AC is the new pasta.
AC is the new pasta. Sure.
Isn't that good?
Oh my God, this is the best AC I've ever had in my life. I feel so energized because of this AC. Who are they fooling? Like, you're in Miami and you guys shut the door apart and you're like,
oh God, you guys want to go do some shots? Yeah, where are you going? My room.
My room.
Why?
Because then
The AC is so much better in there.
I kept thinking, like, do you not have AC in the whole house? You live in Miami.
They do. And like
Pay $32,000
first,
a year.
I'm like, yeah, I guess there is like 100 people in this 6,000 square foot apartment. So maybe it is a little warm out there, but
6,000
you're
square
fooling, buddy.
feet's a lot of square feet. That's not a small place. That wouldn't get hot from body heat.
I don't know.
And if you're paying $32,000 a month, you better have AC pumping through the house. And
you're in Miami.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
None of it
down there.
It doesn't make any sense.
don't
It does
get it.
make sense. We know what they were doing.
Miami Heat, the basketball team.
It's right there.
God.
Where were we? The reaction that Larsa had to this whole thing is like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to go hang out with Lenny and his girl. Like, we're going to go be good friends because that's what you guys do. And it's like, again, not the same thing at all. And Lisa didn't hang out with them.
No.
Right? So what's the fucking problem?
Did you see the text message that Larsa put up too? Or no, Lisa put it up actually.
Lisa put up the text.
Larsa was going off the deep end immediately, accusing Lisa of apparently saying to Marcus, I won't tell Larsa that we ran into you. It's like, no, I don't think that she said that.
Even if she did, I don't think that matters. Because, again, she left the table.
Yeah.
That's
went
what you
home,
need.
and she was apparently at Kiki's. So, like, I don't get it.
It's dumb. It's really dumb. But we get to check in with Julia and Martina, who I've got a little bit of an issue with. And I never thought I would say that.
I don't know. Well, I'm not Martina. I don't think Martina
Martina's
has
irrelevant
any idea
to
what's going on.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be
She
part
was
of
not
it.
on the Zoom call.
Yeah, no. She doesn't want to be a part of it, as she proves later. But they're baby-proofing the house. They got some really good news. The adoption agency called, and they got not one, but two baby boys coming into their house. So they're obviously really excited. This has been a 2-year journey watching them try to do this whole thing. So it's nice to see that. But because of this, there was a group FaceTime or a group Zoom, something along those lines. And during the Zoom, and you see it, it's, 6 talking heads and then, 5 talking heads and then one
Lisa's
picture of Lisa
profile picture.
in a
On a yacht.
swimsuit.
Yeah.
It's like,
She's the best, man.
Like,
Isn't she the best?
she definitely didn't turn her camera on intentionally because she's like, I love this picture so much.
Yeah,
I'm not going
probably.
to turn my camera on. But the one person missing from this was Gertie. Now, the way that Julia describes this whole thing, Gertie was on the call. Julia left briefly to do something and came back to the phone.
I thought it was before Julia got on the call. They were all waiting.
Okay, maybe it was that.
I guess she had seen that, like, Gertie
were
was
on it.
on, but then dropped out.
She dropped off of the call.
Yeah.
Texted Julia and said, hey, is there another link that I can use to get onto this call? And then texted congrats, and that was it.
Yeah, there was a middle part there that we got later from Gertie that was intentionally missing.
That's important.
Yeah. Everything else that Julia says in this scene, I really support and I really love. They finally, like, Martina is 100% cancer free. They finally got, the adoption went through. They ended up getting twin boys.
Yep.
Love that. She immediately says, I'm not ready to share, my whole life with them. So I'm not going to put them on social media. I'm not going to expose them to the show. Lovely. That is such a breath of fresh air when it comes to shows like this. I really support that. And then you go into the Gertie thing. I'm like, wait, well, what?
This doesn't make sense.
I don't get this.
It sounds like the call got dropped.
Wait, you're like really mad about this?
The call got dropped and she tried to get back on. And you yourself said later, I couldn't find the link to send it.
Yeah.
What do you want her to do?
It sounds like, Julia is fully in the wrong. This isn't like a miscommunication with the information that we get later from Gertie. It's full blown Julia's in the wrong, and yet she's the one who's mad and creating problems.
And reevaluating their entire friendship.
Yeah.
These two were tight.
Yeah.
This makes no
Think
sense.
it has anything to do with her getting closer to Marisol and Alexia?
It could. Anytime. Like, look, we love Marisol and Alexia for those two. Like, they're entertaining. They bring a lot to the show. But do I trust them? Not
They're
necessarily.
like the dark side of the force.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, they're enticing when you see them. You're like,
Right.
oh, I would like to
I
be
wanna
part
be
of that.
part of that crew.
I don't really know why.
You start a lot of shit, though.
Yeah, you get over there and then you're like, whoa, why are my friendships falling apart?
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. I don't really know. But the fact that she's reevaluating everything was over that. Because even in this moment where she gets to paint the picture, I still didn't agree with her.
No, yeah. And even when she's doing it before we even know what Gertie's talking about later, it still just seemed odd.
Yeah, it's like
And it seemed like information was missing, and I didn't really know what to make of it. It seemed like a moot point that I feel like could have been a miscommunication or Julia overreacting. At no point during any of this conversation did I think that Gertie had ill intent.
No.
At all.
God, no. I never think she has ill intent ever. I love Gertie. I'm Team Guerdy till I die.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get, I don't even know, like, how we resolve this whole thing. It's going to be interesting to watch them hash it out.
Hopefully it goes away.
I think they're still feuding.
Yeah, I know. Based on did you see the pictures? Gertie posted a picture last night of like I don't know if it was like a welcome party or like a watch party or something. Julia got cut out.
Yeah.
Adriana also cut out Julia. But like fully cut her out. At least with Gertie, it was like, yeah, you can see Julia's right there. Adriana was like, no, Julia.
I don't know.
She's got real beef. Adriana and Julia have real
They've
beef.
had beef.
This Gertie and Julia thing is weird.
It does. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Meanwhile, Lisa and Jody are in their rental, their $32,000 a month rental. And look, she's comfy there because it's cozy. Mm-hmm. It's a nice little cozy 6,000 square foot condo with a 6,000 square foot balcony. Cozy.
Fuck yeah.
It's it's small. It's humble.
We can't be on that side. We've been calling for Wealth to come back to Housewives.
Oh, no.
We can't get upset when she calls it cozy.
You hold on right now.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
I love that this is how the house is being described.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's not and even Jody's like, you're 6,000 square feet. This is
yeah, and even the producers start echoing it out.
Yeah, it was funny. So no, I have no issue with it. This is what we want. We want wealth. So I'm glad. I gotta talk about Jody though.
Yeah.
The haircut and the stash being shaved, but nothing else being shaved.
He rubs me the wrong way. His look really rubs me the wrong way.
There's just something there.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I do know what it is because I wrote down Jody looks strange, and then I kept watching. I was like, oh, it's his haircut, and because he decided to shave the mustache down to stubble but leave the beard.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's the opposite of what I do.
Yeah, it's the anti-shooter.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to stand for.
No, I won't stand for it either. As your friend, I will not stand for that bullshit. Anyway, they have 50-50 custody of the kids, so Lenny gets them half the time. Lisa gets them half the time, which I don't really know how to comment on that. We don't really know what's going on between those two yet.
It seems like she's in pretty good spirits about it.
Seems like she's in a good place.
Yeah, and I know, she made a comment about how she'd probably be going crazy if she didn't have Jody there, which
I believe that.
She didn't really go further into, which shows me that she's in a pretty good place with it. She didn't really harp on being worried that the kids are with Lenny a lot and what's that going to do. Like, she made a couple of jokes here and there.
She really didn't get into the Lenny stuff.
No, she didn't. Which, we fully support. We don't want her to. No. And this was another one of those steps that Lisa took during this episode. She had a really good episode where I'm like, oh, wow, maybe she is fully past it. Maybe she's happy with Jody. Do I like Jody? Probably not. But if she's happier and she's more entertaining because she's got a clear head, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But another ding against him is we're watching the montage of the kids running rampant in the house. And her son is like clanks his thing. Oh, we have a speech. And he just goes, I'm British. And Jody's response is, that's the worst speech I've ever heard. I was like, all right, dude. Maybe that's their relationship.
Maybe it was a joke, yeah.
I just don't like that. I didn't care for it. Between that, the mustache, and the hair, he's off to a bad start.
I mean, at least he's talking to him. Lenny didn't even talk to his son.
Okay, that's fair. But it's a
big change.
Well, hold on. If we're using that as the bar, I mean, the bar.
I'm not saying it's a bar. Okay. I'm just saying the kids being interacted with.
Got it. At least they're talking. Yeah. All right, fine. Let's get to Larsa and her mom. And her mom is there because Larsa needs somebody to film with, clearly.
Yep.
That's the only reason I can think of because of how deep they get into this. We don't really, at least I don't really know Larsa's mom.
Well, Larsa's got separation anxiety. Can we get through that?
God. What happened to the podcast?
Her kids are all moved out. Oh, you think they've got a Jackson Brittany situation every other week?
Where they're forcing themselves to
No, I was saying every other week. I'll take it this week, you take it next week.
It's like a kid. It's unbelievable. I forgot about their podcast. But yeah, she's getting used to being alone, which is kind of sad. I will say that. And she goes further into the Marcus stuff. Here's the problem, okay? And I'm not saying that Marcus is a stand-up dude. I didn't like Marcus when he was on the screen, so I would imagine that, there's a little Nepo baby in there. He's probably not the coolest dude to hang out with.
Yeah, probably not.
But she is not very trustworthy. So listening to her recap what happened and what went down, I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. And she's talking, and obviously the easy thing to do here to throw Marcus under the bus is say, well, you know, his party life was crazy. He wanted to stay at the club till it closed, which I believe. But it's also a layup because of the pictures that came out with Marcus doing blow. So it's just hard for me in Larsa scenes to take it 100% truthful.
Yeah. Who was it last reunion that called that out? Was it Julia? Yeah, because we saw the clip later talking about how Marcus was with another girl grabbing ass down in Orlando.
That was confirmed this
episode. It was confirmed this episode, and Larsa backed him at the time and said, don't talk about him. Like, no chance that happened. Their whole relationship was bizarre, so who's to say that their breakup is going to be completely normal and they're not going to lie about it on both ends?
I think they're both lying.
They're both definitely lying, I think. It's very toxic. The relationship is very toxic. They couldn't be apart for more than like a day.
She threw a welcome home party after he was gone for a week.
Yeah, he wasn't even gone for that long. I think it was like 4 days. Yeah.
Damn it.
So it's just insane to me that we're supposed to sit here and be like, oh, wow. Yeah, thank God you got out of that one, Larsa. We really support you. It's like, no.
I don't really care.
I don't really care, and I know what you're already doing. You're pushing this. You're getting mad at other people when they have run-ins with them, when they clearly walk away from him in Lisa. So I'm just not really going to do it. And again, Larsa's the type that would show text messages.
That's what I
You show text messages about Lisa. You show text messages about everybody on the cast.
She showed one text from him saying, like, I'm going to get you and your kids, like, when you least expect it or something, which is weird.
It's fucking bizarre and awful. But he's not a good dude. We know he's not a good dude. But other than that, you're just showing us like Instagram comments where he's like, yeah, no, I wanted nothing to do with that. I'm out. Yeah, like, yeah, whatever. It's a toxic breakup. It was a toxic relationship. So
yeah, that's exactly where I'm at with it. But we get the return of Kiki and Gertie. I was so happy to see these two on screen, and they're headed to the yacht. Turns out that Kiki dated the owner of the Miami Beach Yacht Club.
Mm-hmm.
They broke up, but she still uses the yacht.
She broke up with him, and she still gets the yacht. That's power.
I believe that.
I fucking believe that. Anything she says, I believe.
If it was anyone else, I'd be like, no way. But Kiki, I'm like, that's definitely true.
She's so cool.
She's right.
Yeah.
Her and Gertie, they're both cool as shit. But Kiki, I don't know, man. She
something about her.
She's just cool as shit.
Yeah,
I agree.
Got an aura.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. She's got an aura. But we get an update on Gertie and her journey with cancer, and I do believe at this moment she's cancer free.
I think so.
I don't want to make, claims that aren't true, but I think that's what's going on, but she's hesitant to say anything because she's still going through sort of the fallout of it all. And she said, she had 6 surgeries, 4 rounds of chemo, and like 20 rounds of radiation. So I'm just glad that she's doing better. And I felt really bad for her because we love Russell. We love Gertie. We love them together. And now that she's concerned, she's worried that Russell is seeing this as like a caretaking role and not his wife anymore. Just some really real shit. And, we support Gertie. We hope that they're able to sort everything out. There's no way Russell's looking at you that way.
No chance.
No chance in hell.
No chance.
Dude's solid as a rock. But it is sad to hear her talk about it. And don't worry, because Adriana's here now. And I love that. I don't know why I have a soft spot for her.
A lot of people do love Adriana above everybody else on this show. I don't get that, but she does have incredibly entertaining moments.
That's what it is.
And then there's other times where she takes it way too far and it's not funny anymore.
I agree with that.
So that's what kind of brings her down for me. But I always do this with her. I always give her a clean slate at the beginning of the season.
I like that. I think you
always give her a clean slate, and by like episode 7 or 8, I get annoyed by her. It's inevitable.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, but this episode, she was so fucking funny. And like great. Unintentionally funny at the party later. But in this moment, it's like, Adriana's here. All right, here we go.
Yeah, let's rip this Band-Aid off.
Why not?
And they're talking about Alexia and Todd. And this is what Adriana does that's so entertaining. Because, one, in a confessional, she's like, I think it's a bad idea, but I understand where she's coming from. I've been through this, so like I get it. Then talking to those two, she's like, look, I'm here if she needs support. Like, I got her back. I was like, what the fuck?
That was funny as shit.
It was so funny.
Because they clocked it immediately. They're like, yeah, I think you're probably the last person that she's going to come to for support.
2, and I love Bravo, or whoever produced this one, the editors, because they immediately plug in a montage of her just starting rumors, talking shit. And all.
Wasn't she the one who ran into him in the lobby when they were leaving Alexia's? Yeah.
And
Like, what the fuck are you doing here? I thought you were out of town.
because she said, "Oh, you got like marital issues," and he goes, "Right on the nose." I can't forget that because she said that 18 fucking times, dude. Right on the nose.
Probably right though, and I love that too because when we see the beginning, the 4 months prior to filming, she's sitting on the couch and Alexia's going through the whole situation. She goes, "I told you so."
Yeah, I know. That's why she's great. Because like she can't
come on.
You know what it is? Her complete inability to read a room.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, to be fair though, she got fucking buried after the comment about seeing Todd on the way back from the gym in the lobby.
she did.
Everybody came for her. Everybody questioned the validity.
We believed her.
We believed her because I don't think she has a reason to lie. She likes to stir shit up, but if she gets any information, she just blurts it out immediately to whoever wants to listen to it. So I don't think she was lying about any of that. And I love that now because she got buried last year, instead of taking the high road, Adriana always takes the low road.
But that's why it's so entertaining because she doesn't think it's the low road.
No, she doesn't. She thinks that she's actually being a good friend.
Yes.
So she's got this weird, like, I don't want to call it a balance, but when she says she could lean on me if she needs to, she really believes that she could lean on her if she needs to.
Oh, I know.
And in the same moment, she's like, because I was right on the nose.
Right on the nose.
That's probably what she believes. She's like, I'm sought out after as the truth teller of the group.
That's
so if
what
she
she
needs
thinks.
me, she can come to me. It's like, no, she fucking hates you.
She doesn't like you.
Because you told the truth to everyone.
Yep, pretty much. But let's get to Alexia and Larsa. They go out to dinner, and you can tell this Todd thing's going to be a saga, and I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it.
I don't think I'm going to enjoy it.
I think I'm going to get irritated pretty quick because Larsa's trying to have like a, girl moment where she's like, "Oh, hey, we're both single." And Alexia's like, "I'm not single. You're not single until your heart's single." I was like, "Boo."
I think that's a pretty good line, though.
Yeah, but not
Romantic in me.
Sure, but not in regards to Todd.
No, definitely
That's
not in
my
regards
point.
to Todd. See, like, I think that this whole saga is just going to wear thin on us.
Yeah,
Not because we're even going to question whether or not it's legit. We're just not going to care.
No.
And I don't care if it's a weird situation and you're just telling the truth that you guys did do all of those things, that Todd did move out in front of Frankie and he was planning on moving out, but you guys were still having sex. Like, I don't know why you had to include that in the conversation, but whatever. And now you guys got back together 2 or 3 weeks later. Like, even if all of that is 100% true, you drag this on for like 4, 5, 6 episodes. I'm going to be so bored by the second episode.
Oh, I was going to say 4, 5, or 6. I was like, dude, if this is
Bored is just
going
the
on,
first step.
Okay.
By 6, we're going to be pissed off.
livid.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that shit the whole time. And Larsa, to her credit's like, hey, just keep your guard up. Like, be careful. What if this happens again? That's life. No, you don't have to put yourself in this spot
Says
again.
the woman who was crying because she just had her. She's like, "This is the 3rd time I've got divorced." It's like, that's life.
That's
All right.
life. Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's going to get pretty messy, I think. But they're talking about Marcus and the paparazzi catching the girl leaving. And we get confirmation that was true because we heard that last season. We hear some of these threatening text messages. Again, if this was actually what he said and sent, like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I do believe this is a two-way street with these two.
sure.
There's no way it's one-sided, but she goes in about Lisa and why she's so upset with how things went down, that Lisa doesn't have her back, that she's upset with her because what kind of friend would do that? Like, the funny thing is, the things that Larsa's saying about Lisa aren't wrong.
No.
Like, she lives in her own world, she's only concerned about herself, blah, blah, blah. Like, those are all true. They just don't apply here.
No, they don't apply here, but they also are true about you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So, like, why? I don't know. Like, you can't get. You're on a high horse of some reason. I don't know, of your own doing.
You're on a high horse of some reason.
Of some. I can't. It's just anytime that the hypocrisy pops up, I never know how to handle it.
I don't either.
Like, wait, whoa. Who are you describing here?
But you know that. Like,
Oh yeah, it's Larsa. She's the queen.
Because here's the thing with Larsa. Like, her biggest downfall, and I could enjoy a villain like Larsa on a different show.
Yeah.
And it's not
We're
that
on Traitors.
she'd be great on Traitors. And I'm not saying get her off. She's
Put Marcus on Traitors too.
oh my God, put them both on Traitors at the same time. Fuck yeah. Ooh, put them both on Love Island.
Yeah.
I want that.
Put them both on Traitors and then put Michael on Traitors too.
There's no way he would do that.
No.
But God, that would be great.
He's announcing next year. Or not announcing, but he's going to do like analyst.
Commentating?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
really?
think he's joining inside the NBA. 'Cause they're moving to ESPN. Yeah. So he's going to be with like Charles and Shaq.
Is that going to be good? Or is he too
No, I
serious?
think he's going to be awful.
Yeah,
actually.
I don't think that's like his
I don't know if
role.
he's too serious. It's just like he's in a different world than everybody else.
Well, yeah, definitely. And I don't see him, like, the banter on that show is incredible. I just don't see how he fits into
He's
that.
just going to wear his championship rings every day. And if somebody says something to him, he's just going to like,
He's just going to hold his hand up
yeah.
and wave.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, hey, what's up? What were we talking about before we got MJ?
We were talking about Larsa being.
Oh, that's the thing. So why I get so irritated by Larsa, because again, there's villains on other shows that are similar to her, but where she's different is the complete and utter lack of any kind of introspection.
Yeah.
She's never able to see where she can be somewhat wrong in a situation. It's always somebody else's fault. There's always a big lie or rumor that she makes up to try to support her. You can tell that she just made it up on the spot. That irritates the shit out of me too. So do I think she's an integral part of this show? Yeah. She needs to be on Miami, but I just find myself every time she's on screen like rolling my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get to Jody's birthday. Let's go get in the AC.
Happy birthday, Jody.
Happy birthday, Jody. Let's go do some AC. Does that stand for awesome?
Do some AC?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go turn on the air conditioner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go breathe in some AC.
Get a whiff of this, AC. But
You
we're at,
gotta ingest this. Wait
Come
till
in
it
here.
hits the back of your throat.
take a deep breath. Oh, that's some great AC. I love this air conditioner. Anyway, Jody's birthday party. Adriana and her man arrive first. I thought it was funny in the beginning. I'm like, oh, she's just so eager to get there. She wanted to be there first to make sure everybody sees her man.
Don't worry, everybody's gonna see it.
Yeah, they're not going to miss because you guys are...
He's a marquee.
He is a marquee. I don't know what that means. Is that like a duke?
I think it's sort of like a lord, like in England.
Okay.
There's like a million of them
like a
out there.
duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't really sure, but yeah, you know, he's in the aristocracy, as they say. Marquis Amari, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Amari, and he's a marquis.
That's Amari.
That's Amari. That's, I guess, Italian. Not
Yeah, now we're just doing too many European countries.
Now, I don't know if you caught this or not, because I had to rewind it and play it again to make sure I heard correctly.
You rewound and watched them make out on the couch in front of Steve?
Yeah, just nonstop. No. When Kiki says happy birthday to Jody, did you notice what happened?
No.
It was one of those moments like when somebody says, you know, if you buy a coffee at a coffee shop and they're like, oh, enjoy. And it's like, oh, you too.
Oh, yeah. Did he say you too?
Worse. She goes, happy birthday. He goes, happy birthday.
He's like the AC aside, he seems like the most extremely awkward person around.
Oh my God, yeah. Just
The
uncomfortable.
conversation with Larsa was like, I don't know.
He had no idea what to do.
I don't know what to do. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Another
God.
time?
I got to do some AC.
God, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
To me? To you?
Shit.
When's your birthday? All right, bye.
I love you. But yeah, he literally goes, she says happy birthday, and he goes, happy birthday. I was like, oh, Jesus, Jody.
What a
To
birthday.
the point that then I'm like, is it Kiki's birthday too? I
No.
don't believe it was.
No.
So that was funny as shit to me, but
Maybe he's just so confused because it seemed like Lisa's party and not his.
it was Lisa's
So he
party.
doesn't know what's going
She
on.
had an outfit change for his birthday party.
He's probably just so confused. Like, is it my birthday? Whose birthday is it?
Whose party is this? And that's the funniest part.
It's a
is
housewarming party?
As people are saying these things to Lisa, like Larsa, they say, you live in your own world. It's Lisa land.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, Lisa, look
Yeah.
at this party. Like, that's where I agree with
I don't
Larsa.
know if Lisa would actually deny that. I mean, to Larsa,
She did
sure.
last year.
Yeah, well, last year's, clean slate. Come on.
New season. You're right. You're right. She's off to a good
Going
start.
through a lot of shit last year.
I don't see. You're gonna make me not like her. She's off to a good start, but I guess Julia and Adriana, they're not talking as much, and this might give some support to your theory of the Alexia Marisol effect, because as Julia got closer to those two, she got further away from Adriana. Now, again, this is Adriana saying this.
Yeah.
I don't always trust her.
It did seem like Julia is more of like wear my heart on my sleeve type of person.
Sure.
So she's in a situation with Gertie of her own doing that you can tell immediately, oh, fuck, something's up. Like, you feel some type of way about this. She was overly nice to Julia and talking about, oh, now I understand why, you're so busy all the time. It's because of this guy. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fun. That's nice. And like Martina was very nice to her. So I think it might just be Adriana's feelings. But if we remember correctly, in the first season that they came back from hiatus, Marisol and Alexia would always talk about how Adriana wanted to be friends with them so bad, but they couldn't stand her.
They were still talking about it last year.
And that's probably ringing true. That's exactly what it is. So maybe Adriana's sitting, and I'm not saying this is for sure, but maybe Adriana's sitting there like, why is it so easy for Julia to go over and be friends with them?
Oh, maybe.
It's a bit of jealousy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
that's probably what we're looking at here.
That's definitely a big part of it, if not the whole thing. I agree. Nice call. But Gertie arrives, and she goes up to Julia and Martina in one of the most awkward introductions ever. She's like, oh my God, hi, I'm so happy to see you, congrats. I don't even think either of them spoke.
No.
They just stood there like...
Martina just stood there smiling.
Awkward as shit. She didn't know what to do.
She doesn't want to do any of this.
No, she doesn't. But she's there. She's supportive.
Yeah.
That's all we need from her. But I don't think Julia said a word.
No, not really.
Based on the Zoom call is why we're doing this? That's crazy to me. That's absolutely
It's actually really funny too, and I'll read it later, but before we started, I just wanted to take a peek at like the questions. Somebody even said, is this dragging on too long?
Yes.
And I was like, wait, it's the first episode. Are we really doing this already? But it might be.
Kinda.
Like the writing is on the wall. This could be dragging on for too long. And honestly, one episode might be too long.
If they don't solve this quickly, then one episode's too much.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to understand it.
We'll have to see. We'll probably get a conversation with Julia sitting down with Alexia and Marisol about the whole situation.
That's not good.
And we'll see.
That's not good.
They might tell her how to feel about this and perpetuate it and make it even worse.
Yeah, that's not where they're going to shine.
No.
That's not the moment.
No.
Oh, boy.
But it's funny when they do that.
It is. Again, they're great for who they are.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I hope this one doesn't drag on. But Lisa and Larsa have their first conversation of the evening. Lisa says hi. Larsa says, I called and texted you. And Lisa gave the worst excuses ever. I didn't get it. I don't. Did I get it? Did I call you? I don't know if I called you.
When was this?
Larsa's like, no, dude.
What?
She goes, are you drunk? She goes, yeah, sure.
Yeah, drunk. Sure.
Thanks for that, Al. I gotta pee. Bye.
I think she was a little drunk, but fine. Funny.
But you know what you don't do is go up to Jody at his party and bring up the Marcus shit.
Of course she does.
You shouldn't.
No one else is going to do it.
But why would you go to Jody? And then she also says, I don't blame Jody. I was like, Jody's the only one that really had an interaction with Marcus like worth any weight.
Yeah.
So why would you be mad at Lisa and not Jody?
It is actually really funny. This just kind of clicked right now. The first scene after all the pre-stuff was Marisol saying, I should have a conversation with Jody. Should I do it at his birthday party? Jokingly. And Lisa jokingly says, not unless you want to get your ass kicked out.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
How about that?
Love that. Love a good callback moment. Interesting. And you can tell Jody wants no part of it. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know how to respond. He's standing there awkward as shit.
Just staring at his bedroom
just
door.
Waiting to go into the AC. And
you can see it creeping out from underneath.
Yeah.
It's like a cold air.
Holy shit, it's 58 degrees in that bad boy.
He's looking at his boys trying to tell him to like steal third.
He's trying. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. They're all making eye contact, very wide-eyed eye contact around the party.
Everybody here?
All right, let's do this. How many times have we discussed this now?
Not enough.
Not nearly enough. And the funniest is during all of this, on the couch, Adriana and the Marquis, Amari, are just playing tonsil hockey.
Yeah.
Asking about how many times they can boink in one day.
Pretty impressive, though. She was speaking French to him, which is cool.
She was.
Big fan of that.
That's pretty cool.
But, like, I wonder if Steve speaks French, because he's sitting there watching. He's got his phone out. He's, like, checking his email. Looks over. He just kind of looks at them like, what the fuck?
Didn't we see Steve go to something last year that he doesn't normally do? He went to, like, one of the dude parties or something.
Maybe.
We're both like, oh, fucking Steve's here.
Yeah, maybe.
Because even the guys were like, Steve, you never come out.
He's just a great dude.
Love Steve. Something's going to come out awful about him, and we're going to be like, oh, shit.
Every time. We have to stop saying that.
I know. Every time we like somebody. That's a good point.
Damn it.
Let's get to Gertie and Martina. because Gertie's trying to figure out what's going on. She's like, I feel like I'm out of the loop here. Like, what the hell is up with this whole thing? Martina's like, shit. I don't know, man. Something about the call. I gotta go. Go talk to her. I gotta go check on the kids or something.
I love the end of the exchange is just Martina saying that she needed to go get a drink, and Gertie's like, "Oh, good for you. All right."
Yeah.
Martina wants nothing to do with it, but the extent of which Martina understands the situation is where we are.
Yeah.
Something about
We are
the Zoom
Martina.
call. I don't know. It's between you and Julia.
I have to take
got
her
nothing.
side, but I'm not entirely sure
I'm gonna
what
go
she
get a
did
drink.
wrong.
It's like, thanks, Martina. That's actually what all of us in the audience are doing.
Yeah, she's us, which is great. But we get more information about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And this is important. So she couldn't get into the Zoom. Then she had an appointment. So she tried to text Julia, hey, first of all, we know she tried to text for the link.
Yep.
Julia couldn't figure it out. She was too frazzled in the moment, I guess. So then she texted her afterwards and said, hey, like, what happened? What's the big news? And Julia's response was, you can read about it in the articles.
Yeah.
Julia is 150% wrong.
Yeah.
I don't see what Gertie
She's
did wrong.
wrong, and then she's mad at Gertie.
It doesn't make
Like
sense.
Gertie didn't try hard enough to get back into the Zoom.
That's what it seems. Because when she says earlier, she texted me for the link. She's like, it's out there. I was like,
What?
it's out there?
It just sounds like Julia doesn't understand technology.
Or
doesn't
she's
really get how
trying to
it
find a
works.
reason to be mad.
Yeah, I just don't really understand any of it. Like, there has to be more here, and if there's not more here, then it better end quick.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
If there's
they'll-
more there, then it's like, all right,
but
yeah,
it's
we'll
not
see.
going to. We know they're still not cool now.
Yeah, no, it's not going to, but like there's little bits and pieces, and Julia's never that clear when she's explaining things. But she did say, you know, it's been going on for a bit. There's some things, some comments or whatever. So maybe there is more, but she didn't really get into it. So there could be something else. Maybe it's been kind of like it hit a tipping point, and then the Zoom call when Gertie dropped was like the end of it for her.
Yeah, okay.
Some shit
So you
leading
think
up
it was like
to
a
it.
build up, and
There
then
could-
this
at
was
least
like
in
the last
Julia's
straw.
mind, but it doesn't seem like when Gertie's talking about it, there's nothing there.
She's flabbergasted.
Yeah, she's very confused. So I don't think there's anything there, honestly.
I don't either. I think it's going to be a big fat nothing burger.
Yeah.
But Jody and his friends finally get to go to the room for some AC. They're
God.
super stoked. Good job, boys. And then Lisa and Larsa have their second conversation of the night. They end up having 3 total.
Mm-hmm.
But the Marcus shit comes up, and Larsa's throwing stones. And that's what she does best. She's talking all this shit to Lisa, and she's like, oh, you can't influence a guy whose dick you suck every night? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is this Jody's problem? Like, what did he do wrong? Just because you broke up with a guy that you dated for, what, how long did they actually date?
They
4
said
months?
for a year, and they've broken up like 4 times throughout that year.
So let's say 5 months.
Let's say 5 months.
Okay, I'll give them
Yeah.
5 months.
Yeah.
What is Jody supposed to do?
I don't know. And there's also no evidence that Jody sat there and talked to Marcus. All of his friends were there. Maybe he sat down next to his friends and talked to them, and Marcus was at the other side of the table. There's a lot that could have happened in that situation. He could easily, and not that he's going to, because he apparently can't form sentences when he's talking to other people, but he could easily come out and say, yeah, you know, I knew that like things were a little weird. I didn't really want to get involved, but all my friends were there. I hung out with my friends, and he was on the other side.
But he doesn't
Easily.
owe Larsa that explanation.
He doesn't owe Larsa that explanation, and if that were to come out, Larsa, of course, would still spin it in a different way.
Yeah.
But it's just useless. Like going up against Larsa when she feels like she has you caught in a trap, you can't win.
I think Lisa won.
Yeah, Lisa definitely won because she had home field.
That's
If
probably
Lisa didn't
why.
have home field, Larsa would come out of there thinking that she won.
I thought Lisa held her own actually pretty
Lisa
well.
held her own greatly.
Because Larsa's going in on her, and then this is where she loses credibility because she starts saying things like, oh, you know, all Marcus did was like say how cheap Jody was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they never hung out until I came into the picture. Now they're what? They're best friends? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like, you just sound insecure right now.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like a Jody problem once again. But this is not even remotely similar to the Lenny and Lisa thing.
Nope.
And she keeps trying to use that. When you and Lenny got divorced, it's like right there, period, is the difference.
Yep.
Divorced, right?
15 years, 2 kids, assets, financial problems, lawyers, all of those things. We watched her go through it all last year. Were we tired of watching it? Absolutely we were. But we understand that's what happens. It's not the same.
It's not even kind of the same. It's insulting to compare the two after watching what she went through with the whole thing. Your big thing is you're embarrassed because you have to explain And I don't know why it's your job to explain either that Marcus was doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you guys are broken up. You can say that's why. Like, that's a layup.
Not to mention, you throw your kids in there in this conversation. He was living with me and my kids.
And that's
your
fake?
Kids are like fucking 20 to like 14.
I know.
They're more than old enough to understand what's going on. They probably understand who you are and what you do. So yeah, this is probably par for the course for them. They're not Lisa's kids who are less than 10 years old. It's a completely different situation.
I agree. It's just dumb to even bring it up, honestly. But you can tell Lisa's feeling a little confident because she's like, you know, Jody and I left a real party for your fake breakup. And that set Larsa off.
That was a good line.
It's a great line.
Really good line.
And I like that she didn't back down. She's like, you guys broke up, what, 4 times?
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of it seems real. And then Gertie with the confessional, she's like, she's got TMZ on speed dial. I'm like, fuck yeah, Gertie.
Gertie's still pissed at her from last season, so that's
She
great.
should be.
Yeah.
She should be pissed at her forever
Yeah.
for what she did to her with the whole cancer diagnosis thing. That was insane to
Lisa
me.
kind of didn't do great either last year.
We're not
Remember
talking
she
about
made
Lisa.
the whole thing? I know.
Yeah, she made it about her, but
made
we're
the
not,
whole thing
we're not talking about Lisa. We're talking about Larsa right now. We're Team Lisa for the time being.
We are,
remember?
yeah.
But Larsa crashes out. Like, she's losing it. And I don't think she's used to this.
No.
She usually has a better handle. Like, we've seen her lose arguments before.
Yeah.
But she didn't think she was losing the argument.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time you can really see her, like, scrambling. Like, oh, shit. And she's just saying whatever she can to her. She's throwing things out there. Marisol's saying that Lisa drank too much. And again, I'm watching all these interactions. I'm like, she doesn't seem bombed.
She's not bombed, but also I love that this didn't blow up when she told Marisol coming from you.
It shouldn't blow
Wait,
up.
coming from you? And then Marisol's like, oh, all right. Yeah,
from
guess coming from me. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good point.
It is a great
All
point.
right, cool. I'm going to sit back down.
Take a seat.
Yep.
And this also doesn't involve you, really. But she goes to the bathroom. She's sobbing. Kiki even says, like, I've never seen her ugly cry like this, which tells you that Lisa really got under her
Got to her,
skin.
yeah.
So nice job, Lisa. And she comes back out of the bathroom. Mind you, she's been kicked out of the party at this point.
Yeah.
Because she called Lisa a bitch in her own house. As we know
Can't do
from,
that.
what is it, Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go to someone's house and call them a bitch. It's a big no-no in housewives world. What confused me about this whole entire scene, though, was how much support Larsa had.
Yeah.
Which made me question, okay, what happened at the dinner then? Is
Yeah.
there more information that we're missing?
Probably not.
Because Marisol's saying how rude Lisa's being, Alexia's saying how rude Lisa's being. Everyone there is like, oh, this is too much, this is that. It's like, is it?
I don't know. It's always an issue whenever Larsa gets involved in something and she feels like when she is losing,
Yeah.
there's always support that flocks to her for some reason.
know.
And it's always been that way. And we can't really figure it out while we're watching this because I don't know one person that watches Miami that's like, I love Larsa. We all agree she's great for the show.
There's like 3 commenters, and they're going to come back up now that we started up again.
No.
Remember? And they always are Team Larsa. I think it's Larsa and Marcus.
It could be. Well, maybe it's just Larsa now. There's actually more people going against Larsa in our comments. 2 more people because there's 2 fake comments.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Separated anxiety.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey.
that's
Call it a
pretty good.
comeback.
Let's trademark that before she gets it.
Boom, done.
Yeah,
Got
good.
it.
Good
Yep,
job.
we know how to do that. But once she sat back down from the bathroom, trying to, I don't even know if she's trying to calm the situation. She's trying to get Lisa to see it her way, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't really know, but she starts to ramp it up a little bit. Says, you live in Lisa land. And like, all she keeps saying over and over again is fake breakup. Like, what are you, stupid? Blah, blah, blah. It's like everybody here thinks it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody watching thought it was fake.
Yep.
No one's on your team with this one, and crashing out at somebody else's house and birthday party is not going to bode well for you. What I was not expecting was Lisa from the top rope. The whole world knows who you are. Get out.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't come back.
Can't
from
come
that.
back from that.
That's vicious.
Yeah.
Deserved.
Yep. Very deserved. Now that's the problem. We think it's deserved. Will everybody in the cast think it's deserved? Probably not.
Apparently not. Apparently they're all Team Larsa.
Yeah. So are we going to have to endure a follow-up episode with the fallout from this where Alexia, Marisol, Kiki are all sitting down with Lisa saying, hey, you were wrong for doing that. When she wasn't. She was right for doing that.
No, and the problem with a reconciliation episode, because we're probably going to see it, these
We'll
two
get
are
one.
best friends.
Yeah.
You can't talk logic to Larsa.
No.
Even after trying to explain to her that outing Gertie's cancer diagnosis was diabolical,
Yeah.
she still defended herself.
Yeah.
If you can't see that one,
You have to take these moments and just remember them for the rest of your life. when you are able to actually knock her down a peg in a moment.
Oh, Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if for Lisa or whoever's going after Larsa, you have to just revel in that glory for a little bit. Just remember it every once in a while. Like, that was such a good night.
You guys remember
I was
that?
able to just lay a haymaker on her. And then, the reconciliation has to be, you got to pay her a couple compliments. She's fine after that.
She'll be good at. Yeah, we've seen that. We know that. But Larsa's leaving, and she's like, I didn't even want to make this about me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Did it as soon as you walked in.
You went up to the birthday boy at his party and talked to him about it.
God.
All you wanted to do was make it about you, Larsa. And that's all you ever do, and that's why you're so
You didn't even
goddamn
bring
irritating.
any air conditioning.
You didn't. Maybe that's why Jody wasn't fucking with you.
Yeah.
If you brought some AC.
You got some AC? Did you bring some AC from home?
Hey, did you bring a portable air conditioner?
Mm-hmm.
Come on into my bedroom.
Come on in.
But yeah. The episode finishes out with Kenny G playing Happy Birthday, which was cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Just an outstanding start to the season. Super stoked. Excited for the air horn. And let's get to some questions.
First up here from AJJ265, will you miss Dr. Nicole?
Yes.
Sorely.
Yeah, so
We'll
much.
miss her so much.
And
Anthony.
No one else is going yacht shopping, you know?
I know.
They're shopping for their third home in Miami.
They're the best.
They are. I bet she'll be back next season.
Here you go. From B. Reedy 13126, Jody's facial hair is giving Amish vibes. Agree
Thank
or
you.
disagree? There you go.
Thank you.
Somebody pointed it out.
I knew I wasn't nuts.
Something going on there. From Hotcakes 1987, no question, just refreshing to see them back on. They're true friendships. Love them all.
Agreed.
Agreed. It is so nice to have them back. From M. Frank 91, we still don't like Larsa, right? Most of the cast irks me besides Adriana. See, there's an Adriana one.
Random. And that's crazier to me. And no shade, like who you like.
Yeah.
No one else on this cast annoys you, but Adriana does. Sorry, the other way.
Yes.
The whole cast annoys you, but Adriana does not? That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
To me.
Here's the question from Diana and Jerry. Do you agree that Julia is dragging this non-issue with Gertie?
Yes.
Yeah, dragged on for way too long. It's still going.
Yeah, two
I hope-
scenes.
Too much.
Two scenes too many. It just does not make sense.
Way too much. And last one here. I feel like we made this pretty clear, but from Vanez, Team Larsa versus Team Lisa. We're Team Lisa.
Or Team Lisa.
Don't you forget it. And Team Julia versus Team Guerdy. We're Team Guerdy.
I feel like they're obvious answers.
They should be, dude, but
I can't wait for
these
the
shows, who knows?
We'll see. We will see in the comment section once we post this. I'm very curious where everyone else stands. It seems so cut and dry to me, but hey, that's what's great about these shows. There's a lot of differing opinions
keep
out
you
there.
thinking.
They do keep you thinking. And God forbid you have a differing opinion. You'll have 6 people telling you how awful of a person you are. God, I love it.
I don't know how we sleep at night.
Very soundly. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
Well. One more time for good measure. I almost said Bro Bros are out of here. That's our show, bros. Gotta go. Bye.